All right, welcome back to another episode of the Full Fletch Podcast. Your hosts, Justin and Brooks. Brooks, say what's up.
What's up, everybody?
Brooks, you have a new location this episode.
New location today. We got a good one. We are at the KOA campground in Deadwood, South Dakota.
Deadwood,
You know
South
what that
Dakota.
means?
What does that mean,
I am
Brooks?
at Total Archery Challenge here in South Dakota. So I am running the Caribou Gear tent. We'll be
Nice.
there all 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just got in.
Yeah, you got your tent
Left
set up?
about Yep, got the tent set up. It was quite the drive. It should have been a 6-hour drive. It turned into 8, but it is what it is.
Detours.
I wanted to go through. I took some detours, went through the Black Hills a little bit. And for those of you who do know me, this is kind of like one of my favorite spots to go, whether it's camping or just trips, doing a road trip in general. I do love going to the Black Hills. So
Yeah.
I grew up going here. My mom's from Rapid City, so yeah, it's awesome place. But honestly, I usually spend my time more in the Southern Hills area, like Custer, Hill City, Keystone. So it being in the Northern Hills is a little bit different. So I haven't really spent much time up here. So it's a nice little change,
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a fun weekend for you. So you're running the
Yeah.
Caribou Gear booth. I guess I'll try to get this posted Friday, which would be the 20th. I will do my best to get it uploaded. Like, I don't know if I can. I won't get it uploaded by like midnight tonight, being the 19th. But as soon as I get off work and such tomorrow, I'll get it uploaded. So tell the people what you got there. If anybody happens to be listening and checking out the booth.
Well, we got game bags, we got tarps, we got rifle covers, we got ditty bags, we got water bottles, we got hats. I don't think we got shirts this time. And then some like other smaller accessories, but those are the main things.
Sweet. That is
So,
all Caribou Gear. No Koyukon.
I got to look at the water bottles Ted gave me. They're either this Koyukon one or the Caribou Nalgene bottle. I think it's the Nalgene because at least that's what when I was carrying the box, what it felt like.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet.
trying to think else. We don't have any dry bags here, just too much, to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I might be missing a couple things. It's on the list and inside my truck right now, but
yeah. The main Caribou Gear. You got it.
Yes, the main stuff.
Stocked to the brim. Go sell them out. Go make
Please.
Brooks sell out this weekend. That'd be sweet.
Please let me sell out. I don't want to bring anything back home.
Did you bring the bow? Did you bring your bow?
I did.
Good. You think you're going to be able to get to shoot at least like at the practice range?
I'll try. Yeah, I think I'll be able to shoot at the practice range. That practice range, pretty cool setup.
Yeah.
I sent you a video of it, and maybe you could attach it for the listeners to see, or the viewers, I should say. If not, that's okay. You'll see it on my story tomorrow, Caribou Gear story. But yeah, it's really cool setup. There's probably, I want to say probably like 30 vendors.
Yeah.
Some big names here, which is good. We got Hoyt, we got Matthews, we got Tuo, we got Scree, we got at least I'm trying to remember the ones that I just saw. We got Kafaru's here. Those guys were actually behind me on the highway today. That was kind of funny. Trying to think who else. There's a few more. We're in between the Shields tents and I can't remember the dude that was next to me. He was setting up. Looked like he was bino harnesses, but wasn't like one of like the main binos harnesses you'd get.
Mm.
So I'll have to see tomorrow. But yeah, the
Nice.
Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation's there. Who else? I would have to look at the video again. But yeah,
Yeah. Lots of
a
vendors.
lot
They
of good
call it
brands here.
the vendor village.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool. Like, this is my first Total Archery challenge that I've been to, and it's cool how they have it all set up, because we're at the very bottom of the ski hill. Now, I don't think we're at the bottom, because I think there's other runs that go a little bit higher, or not, a little bit further down below us, because I think the lift that's at the vendors, that one I think is the main one that'll take guys up.
Yeah.
And gals. And so it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to see how the operation runs. I mean, today was pretty smooth. I got there. I was like, hey, who do I talk to? And they're like, oh, you talk to that guy right there. And I talked to him. He goes, okay, yeah, back up your truck. We'll put you right here. You're good to go. I was like, cool, that's easy. So,
Nice.
yep.
Nice. Yeah. We're looking forward to a follow-up episode on your experience and
Mhm.
anything cool, crazy, or whatever that you see.
Oh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So if you happen to be listening to this podcast and happen to be at Total Archery Challenge in South Dakota, go say hello to Brooks and buy some caribou gear. Lots of options.
Yes. Buy some, please.
Make Brooksy look good.
Yes.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome, man.
what are you up to?
Shoot, nothing. I've finally got. We're trying to get it set up, but I'll tease it a little bit. I got finally. Brooks has been showing his off. I finally got mine. The mics, the little DJI mic mini. A little bit better sound quality. We weren't able to get it to work very good for the podcast this episode. I'll have to do some diagnostics, see how we can get it to work better. For the podcast at least. But the videos I'm making, for anybody who's following along on YouTube, I'm starting to post anytime I go out scouting, or like my most recent episode, it was like 20 minutes, but I was talking about a lot of different things, and I was just fixing my camera. It wasn't sending me any pictures at all. It was saying the thing was dead. I don't know. So anyways, the audio quality is going to be much better on those. So now I'm gonna get going. I was trying to wait on that to come in before I start my arrow build, because I wanted it to be like the same audio quality all the way through. So now that I've got that, I have all the stuff to build the arrows. I may audible on a couple things, so I need to get a couple things. But other than that, we're good to go. So I'm gonna start my arrow build probably this weekend, and yeah, that's all I got going on. Nice weather this weekend. We might go fishing. We might go paddleboarding. A little bit of both. Build some arrows.
Nice.
Yep. It's heavy scouting season though. I really want to go out, if not once, at least once, but if not once, twice a week. To different areas, and I've got two or three more SD cards and batteries and trail cameras. The other trail cameras are not cellular though, so they're just ones that I'm going to put up, let sit, and marinate, see what goes by them, and go and check those like once every couple of weeks maybe. But heavy scouting season. Weather's nice. Went out with Bryant. That video's up, short one, but yeah, just trying to see where the deer are at. See if there's any areas that we've been around that we haven't been in quite the right spot, the right area, but not the right spot, or if there's a different area that we haven't been to. So that was kind of one of the goals going into this this season, after last season, we got a little bit of the fruits of the labor of scouting last year, but just wanted to up it a little bit more this year. Scout a little harder, and maybe find a little honey hole or a spot that just has a little bit more consistent activity. So
Right.
just gather intel, a little more intel. Hopefully it doesn't hurt. I don't want to overthink myself. Paralysis by analysis, as they say. I don't want to overanalyze things just because it'll make me think too much.
Right.
And because I don't know, speaking of thinking, I started getting to thinking, it's like, man, I want to just keep things simple, but educated. Like, I want to make educated guesses, but I want those guesses to be simple. I don't want to like overcomplicate the wind, the weather, man, if I feel like going out to a spot, like, who cares if I haven't been getting pictures on the camera? Who cares if I don't feel like the weather is great, if the wind direction is like, I want to keep it simple, go out into area and not be reckless, but go out to areas that I feel confident in the moment going to. Trust my gut a little bit more, I think, but having an educated gut. So I think that's what I'm trying to do this summer, is educate myself on the area a little more and give myself more confidence to make gut reaction, instinct decisions come season.
I like that.
So that's a long-winded answer of what I've been up to. So there's that.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So speaking of things that are up, the hot and heavy topic, we kind of put it off last episode. We were going to talk about it, and then it went away, and then we were going to talk about it again, but we weren't like so sure what all is going on. But now it is a heavily talked about topic, being the I don't know, public land grab, or if you have a better description of it, the public land sale proposal in the new big beautiful bill. It is proposed to be added in different ways, and so I don't know. Lots of people are talking about it, so I guess that's going to be the majority of this episode. So if you don't like us talking politics, too bad, so sad. That's what we're going to talk about, because it's heavily political. It's not just one state, not just one part of a state. It's a whole region, basically. And really, it could be considered, like, if you look at it, it could be the whole country, but it's primarily focused in Western states. But it doesn't necessarily stay isolated to those, or could potentially not be isolated to those. So, anyways, initial thoughts on everything that you've seen, Brooks. And well, I guess I want your thoughts, and then we'll talk about a little bit more of like what actually is going on. What are your thoughts, Brooks?
Well, to me, how do I put this nicely? I am extremely sick and tired of these politicians trying to take shit from us, and I don't think they realize how important these public lands are to us, and especially because it's mostly a Republican. The one who's leading is Mike Lee, and he's a Republican out of Utah, senator, which it blows my mind because his whole, I shouldn't say whole, but majority of his base either hunts, fishes, goes, uses the outdoors of somewhat, because I mean that's what Republicans do. I'm not saying liberals don't; liberals do too, um, but like majority of your base is hunters and fishermen. Like, you're just taking their stuff away from you, or sorry, they're he's just trying to take their stuff away from them. And that's every single, pretty much all the land in the United States, all the public land, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, Alaska, I'm sure Hawaii. But yeah, And they think that's such a great idea because they're gonna build housing on it. I'm like,
Right.
"No." Like, oh my gosh. Like, we don't need housing.
Right.
Like, you as many of you know, you probably have guessed we voted for Trump, yes. We voted for deportations and to lower taxes, and now all we're just getting is land grabs and a war with Iran. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. We wanted cheaper gas. People that aren't supposed to be here, get them out, and better safety and lower taxes, no tax on tips,
Mhm.
all that good stuff. All
Yeah.
the great things that we wanted, all the great things, and you know, people are going to say, "Well, there's always going to be bad with the good." Yeah, but okay, let's take a step back and be like, this is not something really anybody wants. Like only the rich, I guess you could say, want what's going on because
Yep.
that's who's going to be able to afford it.
Correct.
So,
Like, this is
um,
the only topic that's uniting Republicans and Democrats together right now. This
yeah,
is the only topic. Because,
right,
dude, I mean, it's honestly great. There's a lot of people speaking out about this, which is really good.
yeah,
Um,
like
they
you
don't
said, from
like
both sides,
they
all
don't care who.
directions.
Yeah, all directions. They're all coming out saying no, f off.
Yeah,
And even Trump agrees with Mike Lee. He's like, oh, he said, we have so much land, we want to put it to use. We're going to have a land release, and on that land, we're going to build. Oh, hold on. Build housing. End quote. That was from a video from today.
yeah,
And of course, guess who tweeted it? It was Senator Mike Lee,
right,
who is the front runner for this bill. I have made my choice words heard a little bit on Twitter. I really don't care who sees it. I'm just sincerely, and it's usually words I don't use on Twitter because I try to keep it clean, but like, I just got into this space and I really enjoy the freaking outdoors. And I swear,
yeah,
it's just like all of a sudden they just want to take everything away. Now, I know hunting's been attacked for years now. I get it. But like,
right,
I feel like now it's just like attack, attack, attack. Cause now we got another freaking proposition coming in Colorado that I got to look up more. Dan Gates was talking about it the other day. I got to listen to his podcast about it. He talked about it, and I was like, yeah, great. Another thing we got to worry about. So, so yeah, that's kind of my nice way of putting things. Like, I don't care if you're like the fact that Trump wants to do it too is like you know
yeah,
what, dude, screw you. Like, I don't, no.
yeah,
Like, and I don't think the thing that these politicians need to realize is like they work for us.
right,
Majority of everyone does not want this to happen.
for
And
sure.
they're still wanting to do it and they're still trying to do it. It's like, no, listen, listen to your base, listen to the people of this country. They don't want it. So guess what that means? You can't vote for it. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess
So
we can, now that we've got the sound bites, the raw reaction. We'll excuse me, sorry. We'll backtrack just a hair, and for those who are not in the know on exactly what's going on, again, in the big beautiful bill, it was in initially, and you know, we're not. I don't have it all pulled up on like word for word where everything is going on, but I put it into Grok, and I was like, all right, basically in layman's terms, simple terms, explain to me what's going on. And so this is, I'm going to summarize what their summary, what Grok's summary was to me. Um, so it's a part of the bill is to mandate the sale of 2 to 3.3 million acres of public lands. Million, not thousand or whatever. 2 to 3.3 million acres of public lands managed by BLM, Bureau of Land Management, and USFS, U.S. Forest Services. So that will be over the next 5 years. Um, over 250 million acres of BLM and USFS lands are eligible for sale across 11 states: Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. Montana is exempt due to opposition from its congressional delegation. So, then it says the bill requires the sale of 0.5% to 0.75% of BLM and state forest land, equating to 1.23 to 1.04 and almost 1.5 acres, which make 1.5 million acres, which gets us to like that 3 million acres. So what increased it from the lower end, they added, any land that includes grazing permits. So, a farmer buys a permit to let their cattle graze on land. At first, that wasn't included. Now that is included in the sale. And so that increased the amount available to be sold. So that's the base. Like, that is what is being proposed. And then, like Brooke said, the reasons why. So why are they trying to sell this land? Again, build housing, or build other things. And so it's basically being put up for the highest bidder. There's no contract to it on who is or who is not allowed to purchase it. Hopefully they maybe, I don't want this to pass. Let me start by saying that I don't want this to continue. I want it to be pulled out. So it got pulled out because of heavy opposition. It was heavily opposed, so they pulled it out, and then they put it in even heavier. Like, okay, at first it was like 500,000 acres or something. It was big, but it was like small in comparison. And then they're like, okay, we'll take that out. We don't like it. Okay, now let's put it in, and okay, now 3 million acres. It's like, whoa. Okay, so they want to sell it to the highest bidder, and I hope if for some reason this continues and it passes, that there's some sort of regulation on exactly who can buy it, because we've heard it before in the news. China is buying all sorts of land outside of military bases and things like that, or entities that come from China, not necessarily China themselves. And so that's a dangerous game when you're just letting anybody and everybody with the deepest pockets purchase land that they can do essentially whatever they want to. There's no, as of right now, there's like no regulations on what can or can't be put in. So they're talking about AI buildings to develop AI, housing. I don't know. They're just trying to develop, and later on in reading this, there's a whole lot of concerns where, let me see, housing affordability concerns. So the bill mentions housing, and lacks requirements for affordability or density. So they can put in these houses, but they could be $2 million houses where, it's not affordable housing. It's just housing, and it's for the millionaires and billionaires to be able to live in. Like I said, there's no regulation on who, what, where, when, why. Vacation properties, commercial developments like golf courses, or AI data centers. So I work at a golf course. I also don't think we need more golf courses. Like, there's a lot not good with golf courses. That could be a whole different debate, but we don't need more golf courses. And then we don't need more people living around golf courses. So I'll leave that at that. But there's nothing that says what they can build, how expensive they can make it to live if they do housing, things like that. Then, additionally, research indicates that less than 2% of BLM and state forest lands are suitable for housing due to distance from infrastructure or high wildfire risk. So they want to, that's in general, not just of the 3 million acres that is available for sale. Of the, what did I say it was? Over 250 million acres. So of that 3 million acre, or of the 250 million acres, they want to sell 3 million acres. Well, of the 250 million acres, there's only 2% that's actually livable and not a complete and utter risk to live in. And then on top of that, it's so far from civilization that you would have to build a civilization there for it to actually be able to function. And so that there's a lot of things not adding up to this. That's like, okay, why would we do this? Only 2% of BLM and state forest lands are actually livable and suitable for anything outside of like solar farms or something stupid like that. Like the land is not suitable for living. That's why it hasn't been that's why it hasn't been developed. On top of other reasons, but like there's a reason all this land was not initially developed on.
Right.
So I don't know. That's kind of the basis of what's going on, what it is, and why they want to build things, more houses, more housing, and that's what they're saying. There could be opinions that that's just a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're saying, oh no, it's just for housing, it's just for this, just for that. Very modest, very simple, no harm. We just want more places for people to live. Well, is that really the case, or are you going to sell this land and something crazier is about to happen?
Right. Well, I don't think these guys are thinking of the lack of water out west either.
Yep.
Because that's
right.
That's a big concern out here, is the lack of water. And I don't think they even realize, like, we're gonna need a lot more water. Like, where are we gonna drill this water from, right? Because right now, Denver's sitting pretty because it's on top of a massive aquifer. Which, shout out to them for being in the right spot at the right time. But everywhere else, like, there's not much water out here, and
Right.
I don't think they're taking that into consideration. Like, there's a lot of desert out here. Like, technically, Denver is a high desert.
Yeah.
And people, I don't know what else to say about that, because it's the truth. Because you got Arizona, you got Utah, Arizona desert, Utah desert, you got Nevada desert, California desert, you got Idaho, kind of deserty. It's probably more of a high desert type of situation. I could be wrong about Idaho, but still, like, I don't think they realize, like, how deficient we are on water out here.
Right. So, like, if you look at and we've talked about BLM, like we've looked at the BLM maps before for different reasons, but if you look at a BLM map, and then you put like the satellite image with where those are plotted, when you look at that, like, it is desert, like actual desert, where it's like tan color, and you got cactus and sage, and like this is BLM. I know that there's state forest land that's also being included in this, but when you're talking about BLM, like you said, it is a desert. And you know, I've got a point that I want to bring up, an idea that maybe they're gonna go to when you're talking about water. But you know, it is a desert currently, and it's going to take a lot of time and energy and effort to make it to where it's not a complete desert. And then the other end of the spectrum, okay, we go to state forest land. Okay, it's not a desert, but our forests are so mismanaged in a majority of states. I'm not saying every state mismanages their forests, but majority of places, especially like California, we already know that their forests are very poorly managed because the LA fires, prime example.
Yep.
One spark and the whole thing is gone. Like
Right.
in very little time. Now you go to another area that has been poorly managed and you just start building. Okay, you build into where this place has been poorly managed. You know, it's going to take more than this 5 year span to correct this the wrongdoings that they've had with the forest in the western U.S. And so they're
Mm-hmm.
talking about wildfire risk. Like, okay, you're going to build it just for it to burn right down because it's in such a
Right.
bad area. Like, there is no good solution. It's in a desert, and then it's in basically wildfire heaven, like where
Mm-hmm.
wildfires are born and die. Like that's where they're at. I will
Yep.
backtrack the desert thing. So I wanted to bring this point up. I was listening to the Sean Ryan show, and this isn't like a totally new thing, but he was talking about, or he had a guest on, and he's like a 24, 26-year-old guy, and he owns this company that basically makes it rain. And so, like cloud seeding. And he's like, yeah, it's a real thing. And so he's talking about, the chemtrails and this, that, the other thing. This is just this is false, this is true, whatever. And he's like, yeah, we can seed clouds. So if we have a cloud with the right scenario that isn't going to make a storm, we can make it rain if there's a cloud, like like an authentic cloud, in the just right conditions or within a certain range, we can make it rain. And so
Mm-hmm.
him and companies like them are going to potentially get some pretty big contracts. If something like this goes through, that company and companies like them are going to get major contracts to be like, make it rain. We have this desert. It's not suitable to live in. We need to make it suitable to live in. We need rain.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen as often as we can without causing torrential floods. Make it rain, and then we will handle the rest. We just need you to make it rain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to turn that into a more suitable and less of a desert, more suitable to live in.
Right.
But okay, so I guess what what could I'm just trying to see what could happen if this were to pass. They have
Yeah.
5 years. They have 5 years to sell all this stuff or all this land, or for the land to get purchased. However you want to look at it. In that 5 years, they say, okay, we need to just build a base camp for like a few people to clear trees, make it whatever, level things off, kind of cultivate the land, so to speak. Not necessarily for farming, but cultivate it to be like, okay, um, maybe we can make it to where it absorbs water better and we can make it rain so then it holds water better and then it's better to live on, easier to build on and all that good stuff. So then, okay, so within 5 years, say you build it the first or buy it the first year, you make it rain for 3 years. 4 years down the road, okay, now we have it all built out. Okay, I think that's where they're trying to go. In my mind, that's the logical series of events that I could see happening. Where okay, they're going to buy this land that they say is unlivable, and then we're going to make it livable by making it rain and building civilization where there hasn't been civilization before. And when there was, there's a reason
Mm-hmm.
they're not anymore because everybody died because you can't live there. Well, then we're going to make it to where you can because we need more places to live. I think that's where they're trying to go with
Right.
it, and I'm not saying it's right, but I think that's where they're going.
Yeah. I agree. And I mean, you could technically put like tinfoil hat on for that too. But
Mm.
but yeah,
Oh yeah,
I mean, they've already admitted they can make it rain. So
yeah.
What's
And it's
stopping them
more than
from doing
just
that?
us. It's more than just this guy. Like, there's other countries, and you know, they're saying, oh, you can make it a hurricane, you can make this and that. There's certain aspects of it, like he was trying to explain it, and maybe he was blowing smoke, but there's certain aspects of it, it's like, that's too far-fetched. Maybe in like 10 years they can find the technology to control things like that. But for right now, aside from chemtrails and poisoning the air, which he said, oh no, that's probably not true. A little bit true. It's okay, it's true. Like, he didn't say it, but like, come on, man. We're not dumb. We're not dumb. But as of right now, like, for sure, they can make it rain. If there's a cloud in the sky and the temperature is right and there's enough, he was talking about like there's enough ice particles or something like that. They can go up there with like this drone and make it release whatever they need to release, and they said if it's like within like 30 45 minutes you will have rain coming from that cloud, and that then creates a rainstorm, not a thunderstorm, just a rainstorm. You just get rain. Crazy cool concept, but it's like, holy hell. I think that's what they're about to do, is sell off this land to highest bidder, being whoever, and they're like, okay, you, company that makes it rain, come make it rain for 2 years. Don't flood us out, but make it rain for 2 years. Make the soil more fertile, more livable. Make it easier for us to build on. Let's build on it. Create a section of civilization that hasn't existed before. So
yeah, I can easily see them doing that.
Like I said, I don't think that's the best thing, because now looking at the bad side, if this were to happen, well, I mean, we've kind of been looking at the bad side. So looking at, okay, again, if this were to happen, how does this affect the wildlife now? Grok gave me these ideas, so I'm not going to say, oh, these are all just my ideas, I'm a genius. But okay, any time you do anything like development wise, you are messing with nature, obviously. And not just like straight up, not just like straight up like killing an animal on accident or whatever. You're dislocating a herd potentially of animals. Given the right situation, you're causing a herd of animals or a group of animals, a certain species, to completely up and relocate because you came in and established that you wanted to develop that land to whatever. It doesn't matter. But you cause them to relocate. A herd of elk, a herd of deer, whatever. Birds. Birds are a big one, especially out there. Like, you got, like in BLM land and that desert land, like you got sage grouse and sage chicken, desert chicken. You got a lot of critters out there that are game species that are going to have to relocate because of this. If all this happens, and that's stress on those animals, and as if dealing with their own predators wasn't enough, having to relocate and then deal with predators, like, you're asking for some major issues on the biological side of, okay, yeah, other than just like taking our land, like, you're also messing with the animals, and you're causing animal population to be put at a greater risk for decline in population, because you're putting them in such distress that is not normal, that predators are going to do their thing at a higher rate, whether it's humans or wolves or mountain lions, whatever, you name it. It's just going to cause such a disturbance that it puts the population of game animals at risk. And I think that's something that they're not totally considering.
No, yeah. I mean, do you really think they give a shit about those animals?
No. And
no. Even though I'm a hunter. No.
Right. Yeah, I hunt. Okay, yeah, you hunt on private ground with, stocked feeders and year-round blinds, and, you got all your critters are named. Every animal has a name. It's like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna go shoot Jimmy Joe tomorrow," and blah, blah, like, okay, you have it all. That's not, it's hunting, but it's not the same. You and I are not the same.
no.
So,
Yeah, no.
um no, in looking at this more, like, there's no selectiveness on, like, what land is being put up for sale. They're not basing it off of what's being used the least, what has the lowest population of elk, what or no population of elk, what has the lowest population of game animals. They're not looking at these things at all. And so,
Mm-mm.
like, their only consideration is, okay, we have land that's not being used as much as downtown Denver or downtown Nashville, and some of these places are becoming overcrowded. We need to put a new city in these areas so that we can thin out these more dense populations. Let's put it in the middle of Nevada where there's not a whole lot of people.
Mm.
They're not considering anything other than, hey, this is going to be between Las Vegas, Reno, and Salt Lake City. Like, there's no major cities in
Yeah,
between those, really. It's like, okay, that's a great place to put a new big city, and it'll
right.
thin out that area. It'll thin out that region, and it'll just make life better. Okay, yes, but no. Like, there's a whole lot of things that are changing because you want to e- build a whole new part of our civilization.
Yep.
I don't know. I've been rambling. What are your thoughts?
You're good, dude. Um, I mean, I'm just trying to put this in a nice way because I get pretty emotional about this. So I'm trying to be logical. Um, it would I would love it to see one of these senators just get their freaking tits lit up in the backcountry and being like we're trying like if we're like hunting elk or something like that, like we're trying to chase an elk and like we're getting our ass beat on public land, and they're gonna be you could easily say like, do you really want to put something here? Like really, type of thing, you know? Um, or you want to put a city here? No, no, like no, you don't. You just want to give it to your rich cronies who only give a crap about themselves, and you only give a crap about yourself because you have you think you have power over us
Hmm.
because you're a senator or a congressman or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I pray it doesn't like it gets so much push. I mean, it's getting a ton of pushback. That I pray
Yeah.
it doesn't go through, but I'm worried. Like I'm
Right.
worried. I think everyone is
Yeah.
because these
No, for sure.
politicians are like they're hearing our feedback and they just don't care. Like,
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, us civilians, the public population, can bitch, moan, complain all we want. We can call the number, which, by the way, call the number, send the emails, whatever you need to do. Um, we'll give the number here in a second. But, like, you can do all that, but then the senators can still have their own opinion and totally disregard what we have to say. Like, it's up to them when it comes down to it. Like, they don't have to do what we want them to do. They can do whatever they want. Now, on the backside, it turns into, are they going to get reelected come the next election cycle? If you disregard your constituents, as they say, or as the term I believe is, if you disregard your constituents, the people you represent,
mhm,
then they probably may not reelect you. You're running that risk. But in the meantime, you get to make as many decisions on
Literally.
your own dime as you want. But just know, come next
Right.
election cycle, your job is at risk. And so, yeah, go make those decisions if you want to.
Mhm.
You just won't get reelected. So there's some pros and cons that they're having to weigh. And if they see this land sale as a greater pro than the con of not getting reelected next cycle, then they're just going to do whatever the hell they want. And that's terrifying in itself. But I think that there's enough people raising a fuss about it that it'll at least, people that were leaning towards yes might start more strongly considering no on this. And hopefully they just pull it from the bill, because I don't want this to be the reason that, there's, from my understanding, I'm not a political expert, from my understanding, there are some really good things in the big beautiful bill that I would probably want passed. But if the whole bill doesn't get passed because of this, I don't want that, you know? And, again, there's other political talks to it. It's like, why are we having all these things all bunched into one? Let's have individual votes on each individual concern. They just don't do it that way, and we can't do anything about it until they do. And so, you know,
Yep.
until
And,
then,
what's funny is
well,
Colorado's
what
actually
we can do. Go ahead.
I'll just say it's one thing good about Colorado is they do one-issue bills. So,
Yeah.
I give props to Colorado for that. But
Right.
yes, anyways, you were saying.
No, for what we can do through groups like Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, they have strong pull. You can go through them, or you can call directly the phone number to the U.S. Capitol switchboard, to reach senators, to talk about, or to voice your concerns, voice your opinion. And that phone number, and this is public knowledge, this isn't like some secret phone number, 202-224-3121. And I haven't called it yet, but I think it basically says, I don't know, where are you from? What do you want to do? Who are you trying to reach? And you just say what you want to say. I don't know. There's people out there that have more well versed at this, that have told the people what to do, like what to say, how to say it. Don't be an asshole.
Right.
As much as you want to be, maybe. Don't be
Yeah.
an asshole. Just be like, hi, I'm Justin Mulvaney from Tennessee. This is my opinion. I don't want you to vote on, I want you to vote no on this, or I want you to pull this part of the bill out. Whatever the wording is.
Mhm.
Don't hoot, holler, cuss, scream. Doesn't look good for you or for the people who truly strongly support this
Right.
fight. Like, stay level headed, but voice your opinion.
Right.
I think this one is getting bigger publicity than the Colorado thing. And the Colorado thing, I felt like, had a lot of publicity, but like this is everywhere. People that didn't like, they talked about it, but they didn't really do or say much about the Colorado mountain lion thing. Like, people are saying no, call. Like, people have never been really involved in the politics. They're saying call the number, let your senator know you don't want this to happen.
Right. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at all these Twitter posts right now. It's just tons of people like just going against everything.
Which
Let's
is good.
see.
Like I said, I feel like there's a lot of people that are saying this is not good. We don't want this. That the senators will look at it and be like, "Dang, that is a strong percentage of people. Maybe we should pull this out."
Mhm. Oh my gosh.
Yep. So
I'm sorry. I'm reading all these just these posts that these people are posting, and it's just you can just tell everyone's fed up with it.
for sure. No, I
So
mean, there's not much else to highlight on it. Just from
yeah.
I guess our perspective, our point of view, this is not good. We don't know very many people that think, or I don't know anybody who thinks this is a good idea. Um, Even on Grok, which is it's AI, it shouldn't have much of like an opinion. They didn't have anything. Like I didn't ask it for like a one-sided thing. I was just like, can you tell me everything I need to know about the proposed selling of public land and this proposed bill? And that's all it gave
Uh,
me was bad, 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 bad. This shouldn't happen. This can't happen. Like it. There's only 2% of it that's livable and buildable and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, where is this going?
yeah. What are we doing?
Why are we wanting to do this? And so,
Well,
like, it's AI. It doesn't have a soul. Like, it doesn't have feelings. It just kept saying like, nobody likes it. This is bad. No, still nobody likes it. And there's no true reason that anybody can like fathomably understand why they're trying to do it at such a scale, let alone at all.
right,
So
right.
I don't know
Well, the
anybody
thing
who thinks
is
it's
that
good.
once they start,
AI doesn't think it's good. Like it's not good.
no. Well, once you sell off a million, you're gonna want to sell off another million, and another
Yeah.
million, and another million. And it's just gonna be continuous over and over and over. And next thing you know, everything's concrete slabs. So
Hmm.
that's cool. I saw one person say, let's see, these bugmen don't see the beauty of God's creation. They only see potential revenue. It's so true. They
Yeah.
they've never lived a day in the forest. Never. They've never woken up with the forest ever,
Yeah.
and it shows.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, they they don't have the perspective, and if they do, it's slighted. They
Hmm.
don't have they don't have the same view on it that we all do. Um, yeah,
Yep.
it would be awesome if you know. In the meantime, somebody between now and whenever they go to vote on this or whatever, if it doesn't get polled by the time it comes around to voting on this bill, I hope somebody can be like, hey, if you want this part of the bill to stay in the bill, I invite you to come out to this area, BLM, State Forest Service, or U.S. Forest Service, whatever. Like, I invite you to come out and spend one day, like, and overnight, so a day and a half. Come hang out, see everything we want to see, stay in a tent, camp on it, wake up in the morning and see what we're doing, or see what's here. You'll understand like why we want it. And hopefully, hopefully nothing crazy happens. Like, yep, I want to get rid of this, but like I don't see that
Right.
happening. But like you know,
No.
like just to have an understanding, you know, because I don't as of right now, I don't think there's very many people that have that firsthand experience to understand what what they would be taking away.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, man. I don't know. I don't have too many more opinions on the matter. I don't think it's good. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't stay in the bill because, like I said, if it stays in the bill, then I hope it doesn't pass. And there's parts of that bill that I do want to pass. I'm sure, and so I hope it doesn't
Yeah, I
stay in.
know. Well, I hope it doesn't say it either because, well, yeah. I'm not going to say anything else.
That's our stance on it.
I'm
Without getting,
gonna.
go ahead.
If I start saying any more, I'm gonna start rambling and I'm gonna get emotional. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to get it more political beyond what it already is. So
Yeah.
we'll keep it at that for now. Any big updates that come around, we'll maybe, we'll make sure we're educated on it. We like I said, we didn't want to talk on this like right away because it was very fresh when like it came back out that they were going to do this, and it was like, well, hold on, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Like we probably won't like it, but let's make sure we understand what's going on before we voice an opinion. Um,
Yeah.
I'm glad we did because who knows, this could have been like the greatest thing. Is like, oh shoot, we said these bad things and it's actually really good. So I'm glad we waited, but we didn't need to because we probably would have had the same opinion, which is fine. But I don't know, like I mentioned before, if you're listening to this and you feel inclined, persuaded to voice your opinion, which is the similar or same opinion as Brooks and I, call that number, the U.S. Capitol switchboard at 202-224-3121. Voice your opinion. Ask them to remove that part of the bill.
Yes. Please.
So
Oh,
that might be on the docket for
Mike Lee.
tomorrow for me. Call that number. Uh-oh. He's looking at X.
Let's see. They're saying that. So Mike Lee thinks public land is communism, pretty much. He said, reject Marx and Lenin, embrace private land ownership. Hey, Mike, we all can own our own little piece of private land because you're going to sell it up the ass. So why don't you just get bent, please?
Yeah, this land doesn't, like, unless it's for sale at a fixed price, Billy Joe Lunchbucket ain't buying that land. It's going to the highest bidder because that's what they want. This is something I guess I said we didn't have any more opinions, but I do. I guess it's not really opinion. Part of why they want to sell it is to make up for all this debt that we're in, trillions of dollars of debt. They're trying to get billions of dollars.
It would barely even cover it.
Yeah, they're trying to get, they're just trying to get billions of dollars. They're not trying to get trillions because they know they won't get it.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get billions of dollars to take a dent out of this debt that we're in. And it's like, man, like, I don't want taxes and I don't want you to take my public land because that land is my land. I don't have my own private land to hunt on. And if I ever want to get out to Utah, Nevada, Arizona, whatever, hunt elk, hunt desert muleys, whatever. Like, I want to be able to access that. I know I don't access it a lot right now, if at all, but come the time I want to, and that's the only way that I will be able to without paying some guy, some rancher or outfitter that has private land or private land access. Like, that's all I have. I don't have a lease here in Tennessee. I don't have private land here in Tennessee. I'm a public land hunter. That's all I do. And that's all I will do until a long time from now when I actually have money to get in on having private land or lease that I actually really want. But until then, I'm a public land guy, and if you take that resource away from me, you're stealing from me.
Yep. 100%. The people are like, you really think Teddy Roosevelt was a Marxist? Like, come on.
Oh man.
Like, Teddy's the one who set the precedent. It's like, hey, we need these lands no matter what.
Yeah.
That's why that's like the reason he's on Mount Rushmore.
Right.
And okay. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's get Brooks off the topic. We've voiced our opinions. That's I think that's the last we'll say of it. So I don't know. I think we're how far into this? Oh, right about an hour. Okay. For some reason I thought we were going pretty deep into this one, but we're about at our hour mark here. So I don't know. Any
cool.
I guess any closing thoughts, Brooksy, aside from the political side? So we've voiced those opinions enough, I think.
You said closing topics?
Closing thoughts or topics.
Closing
If you want to keep going, we
thoughts.
can keep going.
No, I got to go to the store and get a fan. For those of you who will say this, I'll say this. If you go to a camping cabin, whether it's at a KOA or any other place that does like a camping cabin, which I can kind of show to you guys, this is what a camping cabin looks like. There's no restroom. You have to use the public, or I mean the shared
Outhouse.
restrooms over here, the outhouse over here. If you go during the summer, make sure you bring a fan, unless you get a fancy one, because there's no AC in here. I got a heater, but it's too hot for a heater.
Oh man, Brooks is struggling. He's losing his weight and sweat right now. His water weight is
thankfully
gone.
I'm not sweating. Thankfully I'm not sweating, but oof.
You're gonna be hot tonight.
I'm glad I'm gonna be good. Dude, it's gonna be 92 tomorrow here, like up on the hill. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah. Are you a cold sleep guy or like a warm sleep guy? How do you prefer to sleep?
Oh, cold by far.
Cold as you can get it. We run our fan year round. So we've got that ceiling fan in the bedroom. We run it year round. So like even in the wintertime, there might have been like 1 or 2 nights where we like turned it off, but we turned it on in the middle of the night because it was like, okay, it's too hot in here. Like we enjoy the wintertime for like our sleep purposes because like, oh yeah, it's gonna get chilly and we can sleep.
Right.
I was like, man, okay, maybe it's cold enough and we'll be okay that we don't need to run the fan. So let's turn the fan off. We turn the fan off. 2 hours later, one of us is getting up. That thing is back to like the second speed or second highest speed. It's like crank that thing. Like I would rather freeze and need to be under the covers all night than be a little bit warm or a little bit too warm. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Luckily there's two windows in here. So, and where I have my phone set right now, I could just put a fan right here and let the draft.
Yeah. Get a little airflow.
It'll be nice.
Very nice.
So,
all right,
yeah,
Brooks,
I got to get over there before
you
they
enjoy
close.
it. Enjoy the weekend at Total Archery Challenge, South Dakota. Listeners, go see Brooks at his booth. Buy some caribou gear stuff. Shoot, just even if you're not going, go buy some caribou gear stuff anyways. caribougear.com.
Yep.
Also, Koyukon. We'll throw the links down below. Koyukon. Is it koyukongear.com? But you can find both either way. So
that's actually a good question. I think either way on Caribou Gear's website.
Yeah, we'll link it down below. So go check them out.
Yes.
Go support Brooks. Go support Ted. Friends of the program.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
All right, we'll wrap her up there. Appreciate you guys listening, and go make your voices heard if you feel so inclined.
Yes, please do.
All right, appreciate you guys listening. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.